Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Player Hater Gaming channel. Thank you so much for being here. First off, let's kick it off right. Huge shout out to Ship It coming in with a raid. Thank you so very much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Those of you who are here before the raid came in and you want to check out his great content, he is a fantastic content creator who does fantastic things in Destiny 2. He is a grand master, and he just knows how to get it done. But what's most important, is a really cool guy. So go check him out if you haven't already. He's just a lot of fun to play with. Who do I all know from that? See Jason. See Marco. Let's see some other people I'm sure too. Senor. Hey Senor, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing okay. Stick around if you enjoy D&D. I really appreciate the raid. It means a lot. Asa, dude. Jason, dude. Oh gosh, food time. You be back? All right, that sounds good, man. We're gonna be kicking it here shortly. I do want to take a little bit of time before we go live and get too far into the storytelling to just say hi to chat, see how you guys are doing, and check out my giant Brandon-sized mug of water. This is for me.
Nice. Water is important.
It's as big as my head. And those of you that know me, I'm 6'4" at about 240 pounds. So this is going to be a nice hefty bit of water.
That's good. If it was alcohol, I'd be worried.
Right. You know, you never know. Could be just vodka.
Pure vodka, just all the way up.
I'm just saying they make steins for a reason.
Right?
6'4" gang, let's go.
I feel so short.
Hush you. You don't have any leg to stand on.
Good point.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, well let's start getting down to business, y'all. Let's get down. No, we're not gonna do that. No.
Nope, we're not. No,
not doing it.
No.
Thank you all so much for being here. We all here at Player Hater Gaming really appreciate it, and we hope that you stick around and enjoy this story we tell. We are a tabletop gaming channel for a huge portion of things we do, and the format we go with, you may have seen it very familiar. The games we play are very compatible with the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so if you want to give it a shot, feel free to check that system out. If you want to see more of the things we do have a ton of socials. We have our TikTok, which we've been recording hardcore. Shorts will be releasing on a weekly. Oh yeah, we've been getting some things done. Social media team and I have been just trying to crank as best we can. I bought a ton of stuff to make some great videos, so hopefully it really turns out well. So make sure you check us out on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. We also have a Patreon that's going to be cranking out some things here for too long, I believe. Starting in the middle of next month, we want to start putting out some great things on there, like maps, items, things like that. So if you just want to run a one shot, but you don't have things ready, check out our Patreon. We'll have those things ready for you. We do the work. All you got to do is run it. If text-based roleplay on a tabletop system is your thing, then I will pass it over quickly to Mr. David to explain a fantastic piece of the things we do here at Player Hater Gaming. David, go ahead.
So we actually have the Ashiyama Land of Prosperity server, which is the server based off of our Sunday stream, which is about 10,000 years in the future. And apparently Nightbot has decided to veto all of our commands.
He's just been lagging all night. Nightbot's been slow. Nightbot's just, I don't know. He didn't pay for his hyper internet. I'm not really know, honestly.
I'm not sure it's entirely Nightbot's fault, but we'll talk about that during break.
Ooh, okay then. Very well.
That's always fun to realize. So the server itself is pretty massive now. Like almost, there's actually over I think 150 people last I saw, or somewhere around there. It's been a while since I actually looked at the member count because I usually just run quests in there and bounties, which are pretty much just like one shots and one shots that may last like about 2 or 3 days. And a bunch of other things. But if you do actually want to learn how to play, or if you want to stop in, say hi, and actually interact with our characters, then by all means, you can join us and have fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And learning how to play this fantastic game is something I encourage everyone to do. At least give it a shot. If you enjoy video games in any capacity, I feel you would enjoy this tabletop game. It's a lot of fun. But beyond that, I think we're ready to get into it, unless I'm forgetting anything. Table?
Good here.
Nope.
I always
We're
like
good.
to ask just in case, because I'm getting old now. I got the walker over there in the corner. I forget things all the time.
Don't even.
Don't even.
Do not.
I will drop kick you.
Okay.
You are not the oldest person here.
I know.
That's all I'm going to say.
So, last session, we tuned in as our current, I guess you could call them companions at this point. They're decent companions. Had managed to properly thwart a rather nefarious plan from one of the longer running generational families within the Surwich Fields, the Ilroom family. Apparently their elder and most predominantly politically powerful within the Surwich Fields region was attempting to secure himself a seat within the Merchant's Knot, a very high profile council that actually does have a bit of influence within the castle walls itself. Unfortunately, he sought to secure this seat through nefarious needs and methods by digging some tunnels, apparently, and leading some sky sharks along them to attack other ranchers. Preying on their weakness and loss, he did buy one out and was pressuring another before this group discovered this plan, found the map, broke in and caused sheer illusory ghost and crazy manifestations of arcane power to scare away the guards, and secured the journal of one George Ilroom that detailed his plans to ascend to that higher seat of power. Turn this over to the local authorities in a much under the table, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours manner. Within a few days, George was apprehended in the middle of his seated ceremony. Having a bit of time to themselves afterwards, they did some enchanting, ran some errands, got some new leads, potentially a new job. Speaking with the captain that they had overturned some information to, he sought a favor from them to see if they would be willing to go on a long journey to the islands of Riz in a undercover, blatant lying kind of manner to masquerade as skyship hands and see if they can't get a bit more information about the reason for their visit and suss them out, see if anything seems suspicious. Seemed to be the gist of the conversation. Turning over what skills they had and penning into paper various backgrounds, they found themselves a few days later now, I believe, as we were heading into a long rest, so it would be the next morning. Is that correct? Unless anybody else has something they wanted to do.
The only thing I can remember the doctor would do is do the final day of enchanting.
Very well. And as you spend this last 8 hours of focused arcane effort into your mask, you've lightly carved into the material the mask is made of, just enough to make the indentations along it. The craftsmanship of your own hand is well done. The magic infused. Would anybody be kind of present during this happening? Would anybody be hanging around the shop during this time, or would this just be pretty much the doctor?
I mean, Red's going to be hanging around the shop probably until they leave.
Okay. So Red and Dracox, I believe, would both be there. And this would be, again, it's 8 hours of continual casting and crafting to get this item to work. And you do this over a number of days. So roughly right before one would begin having their dinner time meal, Red and Dracox, you watch as the doctor, mask removed, that very, very just plain John Doe face with that fair, pale white skin.
Red hair and beard.
Yep. His hands over the mask, and you watch as for a moment you actually see the magic compress and condense into physical form, and these threads connect from his fingertips to the mask. And there's this quick, like, pulse throughout the entire kitchen area, outward from the mask, as you see all the runes along it light up for a solid 3 to 4 seconds as the magic locks in, and then it fades.
It is in a arcane green coloring.
This green light casts everything for just a moment in that small illumination before it finally does fade.
I see your hard work has finally been come to a head. Very nice.
First time attempting something like this. I'm very proud of myself.
Well, it looks good, darling.
Thank you.
Of course.
Don't mind me as I start digging for dice. No need to be concerned.
None whatsoever.
I said no need to be concerned.
Set aside new set for Brandon. We will just litter your apartment in dice. That way you will always have a set.
Jesus.
There's a dice bag in every corner.
There's dice bags and dice bags. There's just the dice bag for my dice bag. Now I'm just gonna make a quick check here real quick. Okay. So with their last bit of time, I would say shortly after you finish having dinner at the house, actually first, Eva, you would get a visitor. As you are at home, spending time with Cassandra, there's a simple knock at your door. Just
send her and the puppy upstairs so that they don't interrupt anything.
She grabs Oscar and does her toddler waddle upstairs with him.
Remember, it is canon the fact that she thinks Oscar talks in her mind.
Oh yeah, it's in my notes.
And now this dog has just gone mute on her.
She just talks to him like it's normal human. Like, come on, Oscar, we go upstairs now.
Dear God.
It was so beautiful.
I will go and answer the door.
Answer the door, and before you is a familiar human male with this kind of black-brown hair, the one lapel over the left shoulder, armed, but you see it's just with a short sword, and it seems to have like a thicker, like a buckler over his arm. Probably looks a little more relaxed as he is here within the city, like city proper. It is Captain Gallon. Yes, Miss Eva,
would be
correct?
the same captain that we...
Yes. This is the one you recently spoke with.
Hello, Captain. I'm surprised to see you here.
No, hope I'm not intruding. I just need to come to talk to you for a minute before I headed out to the fields.
Certainly, come in, come in.
Thank you. He heads in. He's a decently tall individual. He's about 5'10", and you can tell he definitely... just his presence about him is definitely commanding, but doesn't feel imposing. Like, he does seem genuinely nice and professional, but you've seen the other side of this,
right?
Especially with your profession. He heads inside and just kind of finds a nearby seat, sits down.
Water, tea? Can I get you something?
No, this won't be a long stop. I just wanted to, and he reaches under his lapel, and you see he actually has like this small like messenger bag with him, and he pulls out this very, very well folded letter that has a stamp over it, and he just hands it to you.
Do I know the stamp?
It is just like a general seal of the castle. It's not super common, but just looking at it, you can see it's this blue wax with the singular like tower with the clouds beneath it.
I'll give him a questioning look and pull it open.
You look inside, and it is a pretty much equates like a government allowance, and it literally states, "The bearer of this parchment shall be allotted freedom of care of seed until return, to which duties will be paid." To translate that, it pretty much says, whoever you give this to will watch Cassandra, and then they'll be reimbursed upon your return.
Captain, how did you get this?
Well, when you're a captain and you are sending somebody on such a long mission, you understand you need to take care of the family as well. I am asking a lot of you to be gone for 2.5, 3 months. That's a very large span of time. I would hope that while your mind is focused on the task I'm giving you, you would not have to worry so much about things at home.
She gives him a very odd but knowing look of the fact that he understands her circumstances. Thank you. I'll turn this over.
Of course.
To the appropriate parties.
Of course. And make sure they hang on to that. If there's anything your child needs while you're gone, it will be added. And you look, and there's like drawn lines for pretty much like handwritten receipts. Anything the child needs in expense, just inform them to fill it out, and they'll be repaid when you return. Because when you return, you'll be paid.
Thank you, Captain. This means a lot.
Of course.
I hope my husband would have been as kind and as noble as you are, as one of the guard.
Sorry for your loss. I didn't realize he was lost. I thought maybe just away as a merchant or something.
I'm afraid not.
Well,
he died at port here.
Port? It's most unfortunate.
It is, but we still make our way.
He just gives a nod and then stands. I'll leave you to your time with your daughter. Tomorrow, I think they're going to head out shortly after, I wouldn't say dawn. I doubt that. Probably shortly after would be probably breakfast. I'll probably want to have a meal.
Do you know where we're to shove off from?
Yes, of course, absolutely. It will be the dockmaster would have the exact location, but I know it's going to be a little more one of the northern sides of Skyport.
All right. I will certainly ask around when I get there.
Give me 1 minute as I dig through my notes. I do have a name for you. Come on now. Yes, Dockmaster Arnon.
Oh, you're gonna have to spell that one for me, sir.
Yeah. Arrnen.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. He just gives a nod and excuses himself and then leaves.
All right. Excuse me while I write this down.
Okay. Some time will pass. Those of you at the shop, you have your evening meal. About an hour or two afterwards, there is a... would the door be locked?
After dinner, I would say yes.
Okay.
Business hours or before dinner.
Then you would hear a knock at the door. Just a...
Drac would probably be downstairs, so he's going to open the door.
And you see the familiar visage of Captain Gallon.
Captain.
Dracix.
He actually kind of like moves away from the door and just offers like come in.
He heads inside. everyone here? This sees a doctor coming down.
I'm on my way.
Yes. In a moment, we'll all be here.
Very well.
She comes downstairs and sees him and is like, "Oh, lovely."
Indeed. Well, everything has been handled. I saw Miss Eva first. I dropped her off a bit of paperwork to kind of assist with things on her end. And as for the rest of you, tomorrow you need to meet with Dock Master Arnon and Drakic. You actually recognize that name. It's just nothing like incredibly, knowledge worthy of this individual. Just someone you know. It's like, oh yeah, he's been doing it for a minute. And he will direct you and give you passage to ships you're going to. And as far as other passage, and he hands each of you just a simple rolled scroll. Those are your letters of passage stating that you have been properly interviewed and vetted and all of those things by the kingdom for this task. So please make sure that while you are doing this for me and you are on that ship to gather information and read body language and maybe peer where certain peering ears shouldn't be, do remember to conduct yourselves in a manner that does reflect on this parchment. While this may be a bit of an underhanded method, I don't trust them. No one's ever been inside, at least too far into the place, and Drakic, you would be able to confirm that. Even at times you've been there with your captain, it was very much a drop and leave situation. No one ever escorted the goods into the city itself. You literally got to it, and there's already a crew there. You unloaded onto a cart, and they took it out. You got reloaded, a cart came out to you. No one ever got off the ship. You may have gotten onto the docks, but you never got farther than the docks.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've been tentative allies and neutral for some time, but somebody that secretive, either protecting something or waiting to pop. Very much like to be on the aggressive.
Preemptive.
Preemptive. That's a very good way to put it.
Well, is there an easy way that we could pass the information back to you? Because that is one thing that we were considering.
Would you rather us bring it all at once?
Well, I don't really have anything, unfortunately. So, if you...
No sending stones or anything then?
No, not for me, and not for this. I wouldn't want that to be able to be in some way linked back.
True enough.
I would just say that if you can't remember it and you have to write it down, don't.
You know me and my memory. We'll be fine.
True. Well, I have to go for a walk and make sure I'm not here.
It was good not seeing you again.
It's very good not seeing all of you. Thank you for this. Hopefully it just turns out to be someone who's paranoid and has seen a little too much tension recently. That's my truest hope. Beyond that, I don't know.
I very much hope that to be the case.
He just nods, not believing that at all.
At all.
He's just like, nope.
No, there's more to this.
Okay. He leaves. You are welcome to your night's rest unless anybody wants to do anything.
I mean, she's going to be trying to do the same thing that she tried to do last week when she sleeps.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you recall everything?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Um,
I'm checking.
I've got everything on my checklist done. Talked to the Collins and Moscow's and did my chanting. So I was running the shop.
nope, I have nothing else I would do.
Somewhere between long rest and this night, I owe you another D20.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll.
That's a natural one.
Oh, God.
Hey, well, I guess I know who we're starting
Is
with.
this the fated day?
Mm-hmm.
Eva. As sleep takes you, you are almost shockingly ripped from your body and just thrown onto the deck of a ship. There's explosions everywhere. There is individuals you recognize and don't recognize storming over this sky ship in a very familiar scene, a very painful scene begins to play out before you. As one of these individuals turns and sees you, rapier in hand, dagger in the other, begins moving towards you. You watch as your husband moves between the two of you to shove you aside. And you once again relive how he was taken from you. The moments blur as time slows. It's not the pain that hits you first, at least not physically. What do you think would be Eva's greatest memory up until this point? Her happiest memory?
For just like before this moment is what
Before
you're
this
asking?
moment, yes.
Her wedding.
That memory blends with the dream, and you're standing there in your wedding dress, still aboard the deck of the ship. Your husband, dressed to the nines in a fine tunic, vest, but still impaled. As the storm around you darkens, and the light darkens and darkens, and you look around, you begin to see something you didn't catch last time this memory came up. Just barely off the bow of the ship, this green figure floating. Angular features, almond-shaped eyes, long flowing hair, these long robes, and another. And they begin to surround the ship, all of them whispering, "Help us. Help us find us. Help us. Help us find us. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Help us. Help. Help. Find. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Do you see us?" It just becomes this horrible whispering cacophony as your vision just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and they get in closer and louder, and the whispers become screams before you just wake up. You don't know what time it is. It's dark. You are drenched head to toe in sweat. Your sheets are soaked through and through. Is there anything you do?
gets up, immediately goes outside, gets to the highest point that she can.
Okay. It's late or early, you're not sure. But you can scale the building. You can try to anyways, if you see fit.
She has spider climb, it should be easy.
Okay, you just instinctually cast. Wait, is that an innate ability or a cast?
No, that's an 8.
You just grab onto the building and just up you go. You're on top of your own building, 2 stories, looking around. You're not the tallest building around. You could go higher if you want.
No, she just wants to get out and somewhere where she can see around her.
Okay. You are on the roof of your home and you look around. You can see that low, probably 1 to 2 foot tall fog, much less than anywhere else in the entire island that at least you've been to. Just knowing the manner of the enchantments and how they work, pushing back the cloud cover. But you look up and you can see above you, lightly illuminated by just various other sources, almost like a dome of clouds above you. The enchantments pressing away as the island has descended deep within the cloud ocean to, as you know, give some of the pressure off the arcane forces that keep it afloat.
Just gonna sit there and just try and breathe.
Okay.
Try and shake whatever this was off.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
That's a 3.
3. It's just in you. This one got to you. You cannot shake it. But what's the most disturbing part is the new elements, that strange looking individual and that herd of individuals, those green specters floating around, is what stays the most.
I'm just gonna stay up here until the sun comes up.
Okay. Let's see. The rest of you enjoy a long rest.
Okay.
Good to know. Good to know. Not gonna lie, I was just like, oh, this is the time where she actually hops into his dream. This is gonna be good. No,
You're too
it's
far-
not.
You're too far away, friend.
Yeah, I know. I forget as much.
Well, don't worry.
But it
It's
would've
almost
been
like
hilarious.
someone put it in the story to where you're going to be on a ship together for 2 months.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right? It's gonna be
Weird.
Great.
Yeah.
Who would do such a thing?
So are you gonna roll a d20 for every ship member?
Don't worry about it. I have my methods. Remember the wild surge table? It's kind of like that.
I mean, she could actually be a pretty good spy with this, honestly.
All right. The next morning comes. Eva, I would imagine eventually you do calm down and you're able to get back
Enough.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just for you, Nyx, we're switching from this set and we're gonna put a mythic dice set on.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Because I can't change die colors.
Nice.
The rest of you, I imagine you would. Any business you want to tend to before you head to the docks?
Just my morning ritual, is all.
Coffee would be nice.
Okay.
I'm making the coffee.
I made a perfectly fine batch last time.
Yes, you may
You
have made
did?
it perfectly fine the last time.
Mhm.
But this is just to make sure the fact that we're all fine. Everything is good.
Oh, nobody
no
died.
This is Drax saying she got lucky.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%. Okay. Well, something else that you is pressing for the group, I would say that you are able to ensure that there are certain things taken care of within the shop. You make sure everything that may go bad you take with you. Pack
Make
up.
sure I put a sign up
Yep.
saying that we will be gone.
Okay. You quickly construct a sign just says, you know, till further notice, return on this date.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
make sure everything's closed, locked, give it one good sweep. You feel confident you are ready to leave this building for a good bit.
Yeah. Red makes sure that she has all of her possessions in her pack.
Okay. Are you gonna make a trip into town to do that?
Yeah, she's gonna have to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. So as Red, Trackix, and the Doctor, you make your way into the Faydrift region proper. Red, you can break off as you see fit, but you do need to go back to your actual, like, the place you normally stay or you store your stuff to get some of your things.
Yep. She is, once they get back to town, she's going.
So Red separates from the group for a moment.
I'll meet you guys at the docks.
Okay.
I would say that Red, you're pretty quick on your feet and you wouldn't really need too much time. So Trackix, Doctor, and Eva, the three of you navigate your ways to the docks, and you are just waiting for probably 30-40 minutes before Red shows up. It's just like the rest of you just matching, bag packed and ready to go.
All right.
Well,
Did
let's
the
go see
captain
the
say
dock
what-
hand.
Did the captain say who we need to talk to? I don't remember he telling us this.
The actual dockmaster will know where the ship is, and we can go from there.
Right.
And he's going to go look for the most
Well, he did give us
loud.
a name, didn't he?
Yes, but also he figures the fact that as all dockmasters are, loud, obnoxious, short, typically rounded, and usually loud.
And
You've never been
sure
a
enough,
dockmaster, have you?
as the three of
Nope.
you,
And
As
I
the-
do not want to
excuse
be.
me. As the four of you follow Traxxas' lead, him leading the charge, the three of you in tow, as he begins to audibly describe this individual, it's almost like he has manifested it out of the air. You can hear this voice just shouting. But it's interesting because it's not like they could go louder probably. It almost seems like their normal voice is just a shout. They're just a loud person. And you see as Dracus gets closer, this probably average height individual, a bit of a pot belly, but a nice tunic, this large ledger in hand, just open on this kind of roll around cart. And there's this poor halfling individual in front of this cart, just getting screamed at. I could not believe someone like you somehow managed to obtain the rank of captain and have their own ship. You couldn't captain that thing out of a paper bag in the middle of a sky lake. What? How did you? I swear. And he just runs out of things to yell about as the halfling is like backing up further and further. You can see he's like dropping a coin. He's got some paperwork he's dropping before the dockmaster is just get out of my sight. I want to punch you, but I can't. I want to punch you, but I can't. Just walk away and come back when you're ready. And you see the halfling like, okay, he tries to scoop his things up, and they're still falling, and he grabs another couple things and just takes off.
Seems like a charming individual. Why don't you talk to him, Dracix?
Dracix? You just hear the voice. What do you want?
Simple, Arner. I need I need to know which ship.
Don't you simple me. The last time you told me simple, I had to try to lie to bail you out of the guards.
That was what? A couple of months ago, and you're still gonna hold it over my head.
Yes.
Don't I always
Your
pay you
captain shorted me
nicely
a
anyway?
copper on a card game, and I still hold him accountable.
Yeah, well, you're never gonna get that one unless somebody can find it. Never mind.
Yeah, God rest him. Still owes me gold, that cheat.
Yes. Well,
What do you want?
I do pay you nicely. My 3 friends and I need to get. We were told that one of the ships leading out to Riz, we were actually supposed to become part of their crew. And he kind of holds up the paperwork in his hand.
And he just
I know that you know where
snatches
it
out
is.
of your hand and looks at it. Yeah, before he reads his last. You and this crew. You could have.
I'll wait.
I don't. But.
Just get to the end. It's perfectly fine.
And he just turns and narrows his gaze. You can feel him piercing your every being.
Seems this man lost his jaw on the floor.
I don't know what scam you're running. I'm not
This
going
time
to
there
be a
is no
part.
scam.
I'm not going to be a part of it. You see him. He just takes this simple stamp he has and just thud into the ink, thud onto the paperwork. I don't want to know. Don't say anything else. Don't even say goodbye. Just go.
Hey, we still need to know what ship we're going on. Can you help us?
Yes, of course. My apologies. You're going.
He kind of chuckles a little bit, and he does put like 5 gold on the table for him without saying a thing.
You will be aboard the Chaser of Constellations. It will be just north, the rather large ship made of almost a black darkened wood. You really can't miss it.
Do you need to stamp our paperwork as well?
And you see he just has the stamp holding up and ready.
I will hand him
Done.
my paperwork.
Before you even lay it down, just done. You almost get your hands like dud, 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 dud.
Thank you,
Thank you.
darling. We really appreciate it.
He looks at Red for a moment. Do I? Nope.
Yes, it's better if you don't remember.
Next. He just calls for the
Goodbye,
next
dear.
person.
He takes his paperwork and just goes, "Thank you, Arner," and just starts walking away towards the ship.
I'm surprised he chose to remember your name, Dracix. Seems like you left quite the impression.
A couple of times I've actually helped give him a little bit more money, and a couple other times where I lost money to him. You know, it's a little give and take. But he does help out when I need him, so.
Well, that's nice. Shall we off to the ship then?
Definitely, because if I stay around too much longer, he's actually going to find a way to get me to work, and I'm not going to.
Red will start making her way in the direction of the ship.
Okay. And as you're walking, this scene here for Dracux is very plain, very normal. But for the rest of you, who don't come this close, it is almost kind of harrowing. Because there is literally just wooden platforms built out over the edge of the island. And most of what you're walking on is pieces of this platform where there's no safety rope. It just ends at certain points. And some places have like a little bit here and there, but for the most part, OSHA doesn't come around this place.
Yet still somehow safer than that tunnel.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And there's ships of all manners, sky ships that operating on. You can see there are giant gems placed around them that hold them aloft. You can see some that head into the wood. You can see the arcane magic slightly alight. There are some that could be a little more interesting with these strange contraptions that seem to turn at a high rate to keep them aloft. And then you get to one ship after about 10-15 minutes of walking. Huge galleon ship, larger than any ship even you've been on, Drakix. Made of this almost burnt, darkened black wood, but no burn marks, almost as if it grows this way. You can see actually the grain within it, deeper and varying shades of black within it. Constructed, and then the most interesting part for you, Dracus, you pick up on is this. Everybody else give me a perception check because you wouldn't really know what to be looking for, but let's see if you catch it overall.
Okay. 23.
Okay.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Red, it's for being made of this blackened wood or just grows this natural color, it is incredibly beautiful. Everything else isn't quite as dark and depressing. The sails are this incredible vibrant green color. The flag is held high in this kind of grayscale with these 3 lines going across diagonally. You imagine, and you would know this signifies the 3 paths or just the islands of Riz.
Mm-hmm.
For Dr. Eva and Drakix, which you recognize and what you notice is that along that hardened jut of wood that comes across and keeps the like the top side of the ship, the railing and all that, just below that is an extra one where you can see it looks like there's been something else almost poured into various indentations. And Doctor, what you catch on this is a familiar method you've read about before, where not only for the enchanting process would they carve the runes, but they would fill them with silver. And as you look at this, Doctor, you notice all the way around the entirety of this skyship is these carved in runes along this railing with silver immaculately poured into it.
Can I attempt to discern what spell or magic is used?
Sure, make an Arcana check.
Okay. That is a 10.
Looking at it, it's difficult because it is in kind of a scheme you're not used to, the way it's mixed and mixtured, but some of the wording does come through. I would say with that, you at least pick up there is some elements of levitate in there.
Okay. Yeah, it would make sense. Not a school I'm particularly studied in.
But as all of you approach, there is this kind of a stationed guard keeping anybody from entering onto the gangplank. Both of them are dressed in this kind of mute colored brown with a bit of that vibrant green along the trim. And do you approach the gangplank?
Yes.
Yeah, Drac is just going to be walking with a purpose.
Okay.
Red's walking with her
Green.
usual air of she knows exactly what she's doing and nobody better get in her way.
The one thing is that as Drac gets closer to the ship, his body starts to sway a little bit. He starts to look almost like a drunken sway at the moment, but it's not natural. It looks natural, just like a habit that he's grown into.
Okay.
And which later on we'll actually realize that it's a sailor's sway that keeps him completely natural on the ship.
He's got his sea legs already.
Yeah,
I'm already.
or cloud legs in this case. But yeah.
You head up there, and who would be first? Drakix?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh, Red would be right after.
Can I help you? And you see this pair of two individuals, both of them human. a bit darkened tan skin. Both of them have like this brown hair kind of combed to the side. Their outfits with that muted brown to their underclothes, you can see the trim, the vibrant green. Their armor, very simple leathers, spears, and a shield. Can I help you?
Yes. I was told to report for duty, and he actually holds out the scroll with Arnor's seal on it.
Right, one moment. And you see he rests his spear onto his shoulder. He takes yours and looks over it. All right. So you and your crew here, correct?
Yes.
Very well. Hands it back to you.
He's gonna put it away in his bag.
And before they usher you on board, you'll want to either see First Mate Elgar. Can probably be the best to help you and your group get ready and do everything you need personally. I think they're still out getting some supplies.
Of course. Where is First Mate Elgar?
Oh, well, he'll be, and he kind of turns and points up. You can see, you can imagine where the helm would be, but you can't quite see it because just how much of a height difference there is between the main deck and that higher rear observation. But he kind of points in that direction. He would be, if I had to guess at this time, probably assisting with any final charting of the maps. Just look up by the helm. You should see him.
Thank you. I will actually go up there and figure out where we're supposed to be.
Very well. And they let you
And
all
he's-
pass.
Yeah.
They give some odd looks to the doctor, but kind of looking over and seeing the bag he has on him.
Drac is just gonna turn back and be like,
Nothing out of ordinary for me.
that's one that you actually want to be on this ship. So if you look at him funny, don't be surprised if you're not healed properly.
Hopefully my services won't be needed, and I'll just be a formality.
Drakix, calm down, would you?
I am calm. I could have been far worse with that description.
You know
And he
what I
kind of
mean.
chuckles. He kind of chuckles a little bit as he walks through, but like the way that it's said was nonchalant that the actual guards would realize like there is like he actually is a really good doc, and yeah. But yeah,
Would you
he's gonna
just
head
roll
up to the
me
helm.
a base charisma check.
Okay.
And I would say for the purposes of this, you'll find out why. Roll to advantage.
Ooh, at advantage. Yes. That is a 15.
As you get that description, I'm going to walk off. You can kind of hear the two soldiers talking. Sailors, they watch out for their own. Weird one is weird though, huh? You get
Just not passive pick that up.
Oh yeah, definitely. But for
Yeah.
Drakix, you feel confident that you haven't lost your presence of being someone who has been on the Cloud Ocean as long as you have.
Okay. At least I'll have some sway on the ship if it comes down to it. That's good.
Find out.
So yeah, Drac is gonna head up to the helm, probably with the three of them in tow.
Okay.
Mhm.
As you head
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
Red's following you. Mhm.
Okay. And again, this ship is massive by any standards you've seen. But as you head up, there is like a double stair that obviously is on flanks each far side of the ship. You head up,
Yeah.
and up there is where you do see the actual wheel itself. You can see that it is currently You would notice immediately, Drac, because it is tethered down. It's being held by a rope. Looking around, you are easily able to gather with just your passive, even though it is obviously not the greatest.
10.
I'm granting it a +5 just for the purposes of your background.
Yeah.
So you look around and they know what they're doing. They're not just a bunch of people who just run nobles and politicians around. This ship has a well-made purpose. But up there, you do see a couple of individuals. Most notably, you see this just stark white mane of hair over this 6-foot frame. Incredibly, from your side, you can just see the back, but just incredibly well-made tunic appearing to be on them. Boots shined well, black on black, but the emblem on the back is a much more kind of woven, ornate pattern of those 3 stripes that go diagonally from lower left to upper right. These 3 just vibrant green embroidery stripes with other like calligraphy of vines and things around them. You can hear he's just kind of talking amongst another person. To his left, you see this shorter individual, a bit kind of stocky, more kind of tan, leathered skin. You can immediately notice, like, oh, he's been out here a minute. This one has this bald head, again, similar kind of tan leather skin. They have decently well-made clothing, much more akin to something that you are accustomed to wearing. It's not the greatest, but it's not poor man's clothing either. And then across from that individual is someone who does seem just completely out of place. It is this extremely well-dressed female individual, kind of clutching a book, a pair of spectacles on her face, this kind of muted at the base, but you can tell it's used as some kind of a dye or coloring. It's just faded over time. This kind of, it ends in this vibrant red color. So it starts at the base very brown, and then by the time about mid-length, you start seeing the red. And at the tips, it's just huge flaming red. But it is kind of pulled together in this bun with a bit of it off to the side, her left side, a bit messy. And you can see the 3 of them are having like a discussion. There is like, as you can see, you can see a map with various protractors and compasses on it. And you can just tell they're having a discussion.
He would walk up probably about 10 feet, which is respectable distance, not trying to impose his presence on them. But he goes, oh, fuck, what the hell would he be? Fuck it. He'll just go, crewmate Drakix and crew reporting for duty.
You watch as that giant mane of the stark white hair just turns, and you can see this just stone, almost like stone made flesh face, with this one gnarly scar over the eye. Eye still functional, but it is just one heck of a scar. More crew. Good. And he puts the tool down he was using, which is in comparison small in this creature's hands. And he turns fully. You can see definitely human, but there are other elements of a larger race present in some of this physicality. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Our last crew, fucking idiots, telling what happened to him, is buggered off and couldn't find anybody. Thankfully, that one, whoever it was, came through with some friends of his, and I guess that would be you. He didn't really give us a name. He said he'd be sending somebody. You see, he kind of starts looking all of you over. Right, well, what are your talents? Where can you be used on this ship?
Do you need help finding a path? And he kind of like nods towards the table, but doesn't move.
And you can see he just kind of like turns back and just like a little bit of like a cheap shot, but like knuckle knocks one of the tools over, so it like clanks over, goes clank, clank, clank. No, I was just doing my best to instruct these learned folks how to chart a course over the cloud ocean. You can't always trust what you read in a book.
No,
And
you
can
can't
see the
because
female like recoils a bit, but the other male just kind of stands upright and holds his ground as best he can.
and Drag is just gonna say like, no, you can't because the cloud sea will always change. What was a clean path yesterday is not going to be the same tomorrow.
You see is like a bit of impressed in his eye. Like, yeah. They always think they can read about how the islands shift and it affects the clouds and all this, and you don't really know unless you're on it. And you've been on it for a while, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Excuse me, where are my manners? And he extends his hand to shake yours.
He'll take it.
He shakes his hand. Captain Leonard Chase, welcome to my ship. Thank you for coming aboard. And he kind of turns and points over to the other individual, the other male. That there is Elgar, first mate. Probably be the person you deal with the most. And he points over to the female individual. That there is Hannah. She was sent by one of the academies to assist in our charting methods. A lot of great she's doing.
Well, if you want a third set of eyes, or I guess in this case a fourth set, as you are the three looking, I could always give my own input.
Make a persuasion check.
If you like. Alrighty. This is gonna be fun.
Don't forget, you have 3 help dice if needed.
Right?
I'm gonna use one right now because that's a total of an 8.
Ooh.
Wee.
That's a 10. Apparently this dice does not like me today. Okay, I will not use you tonight. Thank you for letting me know that now.
Change your dice color.
I am changing my dice color.
He just kind of looks you once over. I appreciate the offer, but I think we've got it under control. I'm pretty sure Elgar here could get you and your crew better equated.
Of course,
Elgar?
Captain.
Yes, Captain. I will see to make sure their duties are fulfilled. And you can see as Elgar leaves. Let me see here. This would be. Let me check something real quick. Doctor, what's your passive insight?
15.
Does anybody meet or beat that?
Mm,
No.
Just checking. Doctor,
Nope.
you
So
notice that as Elgar leaves, the female almost like positions herself to where the table is between her and the captain.
Okay.
mm.
In what way?
Like defensively. Like she wants whatever she can get between the two of them, between them.
Okay. Feel like I have some nice conversations with her later.
But Elgar kind of grabs the 4 of you up. Okay, so let's get out of this area, and he starts taking you all back down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully whoever they found to fill in the slot for the last crew will help out. Thankfully, we only lost, I think, 2 or 3, but they sent 4, so that's fantastic. Are all of you handy on the ship deck here, or some of you, and he kind of points to the doctor, have talents that could be useful elsewhere?
I am a practicing medical physician.
Oh, that's great.
Trained in the arcane ways, so if there's any engine potential problems, I could potentially help.
Great. What about sickness? Good
Of
with that?
course. I even brought some of my own herbs.
Alrighty then. Well, and he kind of turns and points. You can see there's this door that's underneath the staircase. That'll take you downstairs to the, so I would say common area is the best thing to call it. Once you get down there, make a left, head straight for about 2 doors, and then a door on your right. You'll see the infirmary. I start
Is
there.
that also my room, or am I sleeping with the rest of the crew?
You will be with the general crew.
All right, understood. And I'll begin to make my way to the directions he gave me.
Okay. Anybody else have specialized talents, or are you just going to be general deckhands?
I can do any job on the ship. I've had enough
That's
practice over
good.
the years.
He looks to the 2 ladies.
I'll be handy if we ever get in a fight.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Even squabbles between deckhands I can handle.
He does kind of like look to Red and Ava and just go and actually, but does say they are also have keen eyesight. So if you do need anybody to keep an eye out for anything coming up,
Right. Watchers. Good.
that's also a good option that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You'll be on 12 on, 12 off. And he just points to the crow's nest. You 2 figure out who takes first. As soon as we launch off, have it figured out.
All right.
Lucy Drackix, you, along with overseeing your crew, will be mainly responsible for the aft. You'll make sure everything's handled, ropes are down, sails are up or down, obviously to the captain's orders. Beyond that, handle the aft, handle your crew. Anything in between shouldn't be too crazy. Simple sail there, drop off our dignitaries. The ship stays there, so you'll be going to a different ship on your way back, and I do believe they're going to be coming along with us. And at this point, you kind of look over and you can see on each side of the ship is flanked by not as large as this, but decently sized ships that are of a common color you're used to seeing Drakkix for the Wingata Empire.
Of course. But to Red and Ava, after a split second each, when he kind of like eyes them for a moment, they hear in their heads, this is not going to be as simple as he says. And like, all right, let's head up to the aft and let me talk to the 2 of you about what to keep an eye out for.
All right.
We're expecting our 2 dignitaries to be back shortly before lunch, and then we'll be heading out. The only thing left is I sent a supply run out. They should be back shortly. Go ahead and make sure we're ready to receive that. And he kind of points towards that typical, like, grated wooden inlay you can see that just lifts up.
Yeah.
And with that,
Drac kind of like heads over away from it a little bit.
Yep. He nods to you, Drakkix, and then anything else comes up, let me know. And he nods and heads back up to the navigation table.
So yeah, when Drac actually moves up with the girls, he's gonna kind of like keep an eye on the first mate, and then kind of like brings them kind of close, and immediately looks to both of them. Doesn't matter what you see out there. If you see anything breach the clouds, if you see a motion of a flag or anything, immediately let us know. I have already been surprised once. I will not let that happen again.
You mean other than the ones traveling with us, right?
Yes. Because they are not going. They are going to be on top of the clouds. I'm referring to a ship that comes from underneath the clouds.
Okay, fair enough. Eva, darling, I think I should probably take the daylight time, and maybe you take the nighttime. You know, with my lack of ability to see in the dark.
Sounds good. Eva is pale as a sheet, even though she's already pale to begin with, and she is just staring at the floor.
Can
Drake is
Red
gonna look at
insight
her.
that?
I mean, you can definitely see there's something going on, but if you want to glean anything
Okay.
further, you can
Yeah.
roll an insight
Drac is
check.
just
Just let me
gonna
know what you
kinda like-
are trying to get.
I'll
Uh,
wait for them.
She's okay, so she can tell there's something going on, but
yeah.
she can't tell what.
Correct.
Can she tell that she's like afraid, cautious, wary, nervous?
Okay, very good.
Like that's the kind of thing I'm going for.
Okay, give me a roll, please.
Kidoki.
Thank you for letting me know what you wanted.
17.
17. I would say, looking at her, she definitely seems, I wouldn't say sleep deprived, but not rested.
Mm.
And you probably would guess there's hints that she's going to miss her daughter. She's going to be very far away. And I don't know what you know about. Eva, have you discussed with the party about your travel here?
I believe just Red got that.
Red. Yeah.
Yep. Red
So,
would have that info.
very good. You rolled that high. You would recall that story being told to you at the last time she was on a skyship.
Hmm. I think we should talk later, Eva. I'd like to have a conversation with you at some point before we shove off.
Yeah, that's fine.
He kind of like goes to open it, like slowly starts opening his mouth, but then realizes that like it's not his place to pry. So he just gently puts a hand onto Eva's shoulder and just goes, I may not know what exactly is going on, but if there is anything I can do, please let me know.
Doctor.
And then from there, he's
yeah.
going to go help out and get everything ready for the
Okay, you
cargo.
find the pulley systems, all the mechanics they use. It's really nice. It's not fully by hand. There's actually like a crank that lifts the grate up to move it. So you're able to lift the grate about 2 or 3 feet up, and just the three of you can push it aside with relative ease and lower it back down to where you now have this exposed hole in the middle of the ship, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, you head downstairs.
Yes.
It is lit by this mixture of natural light and just a bit of like worked into each side of where the wall and the ceiling meets. On each side of you, there's this smallest, almost like a stretched out version that you've seen of Red's light cantrip.
Okay.
Almost as if they just took it and put it on this long piece of thread. And it's not super bright anymore, but it's enough, just enough to make it visible.
Well, luckily I have my lenses.
You do. You follow the instructions given to you. You head down the stairs, down the hallway, and before you do come to the usual kind of that white plus sign, just well painted on a door.
Yes. Well, once I arrive at the door, I will head on in.
Okay. You head inside, and immediately you are greeted with this decent space, probably say anywhere from 10 by 10 to 15 by 15. Has in here, you can see there's only like 2 beds, but most of it is taken up by this countertop space that is just filled with vials, beakers, plants, notebooks. And you can see there's this individual with his back to you, reading and staring down. We haven't even left the dock yet. Why are you here? You could just go to the land side. And as he turns, he sees you. Oh. And he promptly snaps the book shut and sets it down. Well,
Hello,
you're a new face. If you have a face.
I do. I wasn't aware I was not going to be the only doctor on the ship.
No. You were practicing it. You can see there's this quick lean forward and a bit of a smile. You're practicing the medical field?
Yes, I am. Been studying for quite a while now.
Fascinating. I'm more of a herbologist. I'm not really studied in them. I can make medicines. I can get us by just fine. Don't get me wrong, but learning.
I've recently acquired an apothecary, actually.
Oh, that's very good news. Did you bring anything with you?
I did. Some of the plants I had that would have expired by the time we returned. And I would probably at this prospect go place my bag onto the counter and begin retrieving some of these herbs I mentioned.
Okay. Do you bring the one that Drakix delivered?
If it was on your list of things that would expire, then yes.
It is a plant. Without proper care, it would not last.
Then yes, I probably would have. I probably would have thought to bring at least 2 of everything, at the very least, in case of emergency. So in case we need to grow while we're out, and through some sort of arcane methods, maybe help enhance the growth if possible.
Okay.
But I don't have a full list of what was in that apothecary. So
just looking for the name of it. I've lost it in my notes somewhere.
mm-hmm. I was told the name of it actually.
Do you have it?
I do not have it. It's not. I did not write it down.
Got it. You can see as you begin to place your things out and put them down, you can see the individual immediately reaches for the little pot of a plant that is the jester lily. Oh my. How did you come across this? This is fascinating.
Previous owner of the apothecary had only acquired it as I arrived and began living there.
Oh. So you don't know what this is?
She told me it was a jester lily.
It is. Have you heard of it?
Not in my studies.
And he just sets it down. And you can see now in full scope this individual. It is just a very nondescript individual, not much unlike yourself. Not as pale. Has this kind of, I'd say a lighter brown, blondish hair. Pair of just bright green eyes. Ears a little tipped. Not enough to be, even half elf. Just somewhere in the lineage is elven.
Mm-hmm.
But they are wearing.
I don't know what elven is.
You've read of them.
Okay.
they are still existing in some lore books. And I would say, just as a recap of just general knowledge, is it's generally accepted that when whatever event led the islands to be elevated above the clouds was happening, the elves pretty much said, well, good luck, see you later, and bamfed back to the Feywild. That's kind of the general accepted lore. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, that was 200, 250 years ago, so who really knows? But that's what's usually commonly like just thought of.
Yeah. Okay.
But they kind of set it down with a bit of a smile. You can see they're like bouncing a little bit in their chair. This, the Jester Lily. Oh, it's very illegal substance. I won't tell anybody. It's on the ship now. What are they gonna do? It's already here. I wouldn't tell anybody about it though. We'll just leave it here, nice and safe.
Of course. Of course. And I doubt anyone other than someone of your profession will even recognize it.
Oh no, there's absolutely no way. We would be decently well trained in it. I said, if you take this and distill it down properly, you can make a rather, what's a potion that does have a bit of arcane oomph to it to heal someone. But it's, while the potion is usually pretty potent, there's a reason for it. You have to make sure you distill it properly, or you could cause someone to have horrible, horrible nightmares, writhing in pain for days on end before they eventually die.
Interesting. Almost makes me want to experiment with it, but I will hold off for now.
Probably for the best.
I did bring my own alchemy set, so
Fascinating. This is going to be a great trip for the two of us, I think.
Indeed. What was your name?
My name is Stannard.
Stannard. How are you spelling that?
Stanaard.
Okay. I would reach out my hand and say, I'm the doctor.
He gladly says it. Just, that's your name? Your name was the doctor? First name, last name? Is your first name the? Should I just call you the? It's very strange.
Just the doctor.
Oh, your whole name is the doctor.
Yes, my old name is no longer mine.
I see. He kind of looks at the plant, looks back to you. Did you make a deal with a fae?
I'm afraid not. I would have been fascinated to meet one of them.
Would have been a great story.
Indeed.
Well, seeing as you are new here, you're on the ship, so you can't be a spy or someone troublesome. You must really be a part of the crew now. This is fantastic. 2 doctors? Oh, I just want to work maybe this time. Well, come on then.
The rest is only a formality, but yes.
Let's just get you walked around a bit then. And he kind of stands up and begins to show you around the ship. And again, it is large. And you do eventually come to like the sleeping barracks. And you can see there is 2 actually. There's one that is much larger that's on the rear end of the ship. And then at the front of the ship, there is a separate one that is significantly smaller, maybe like 8 beds.
Okay.
And he just kind of describes each of them. So here, obviously, main sleeping quarters area. It's probably where you'll be. It's where I am. But here's where we'll be spending probably a good bit of our time. And he leads you back down some hallways, and you look up and you can see there's like this just open expanse of cargo space that is just packed to the brim with closed crates. Each crate easily as tall as you.
And why would our time be mostly spent down here?
Oh, not here. Keep coming. And he keeps walking you through. And as you get past that area, you come to where those 8 beds are. Here's what I was talking about. Here's where most of our unfortunates may end up. If someone should get sick, hurt, hopefully not injured. We did have a fellow break his arm on the last trip here. It was unfortunate. Strong storm came through. Mast almost came down. He tried to catch the rope. Almost took his whole arm off. It's horrible.
Clean break?
Nasty break. Imagine a rope being wrapped around your entire arm and just tightening rapidly.
You had to re-break it in order for it to set right.
Well, I did what I could.
Well, if anything of that such happens, have me here to help.
It is much welcomed. Until then, you feel free to and he starts to lead you back through the cargo space, and you can look up now. You can see Drakix, Eva, and Red like pushing the grate aside. As you look up, you see them. The three of you look down. You see the doctor. It's that neat moment, like a 15 to 20 foot like height difference, but you can see each other. Like, oh hey.
Doctor just waves.
Doctor waves the three of you as all of you are working to like move this out of the way. He's like, hey. Three of you do anything, you just give him the silent finger and keep working.
Drac is just like right now in like complete sailor mode, so he doesn't even like realize
he's
what's
just
going-
another body.
Yeah, it's like unless like he's like called out, he's just like, huh, what?
I wouldn't interrupt their work. I just wave.
Okay. So you're led back to one of the main sleeping quarters, which is actually, my misspoke, is another level down.
Okay.
Like, so it's the deck.
the third deck.
Yeah, there's the deck. Next level down seems to be all storage, with at the front is the 8-bed little infirmary. And then down another one is where the sleeping quarters is.
Okay.
So it's a 3-deck galleon.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, it's a big boy.
Sea of Thieves, if anybody's played, that's your galleon.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you much for the knowledge, because I didn't want to
Yes.
miscall the wrong vessels.
I guess once this tour is done, I would simply ask, well, quite the vast ship. How many crew do we have?
To recall, we lost some, gained some. Oh, goodness, for this?
From what I understand, Captain's saying, you lost 3, gained 4, myself included.
Yeah, so obviously there's the captain, this navigator, the first mate, say you 4, myself, and probably about an extra 10 to 15. No, it'd be more than that. Think about it here, and you kind of see for a moment, you kind of just lost in thought. Don't really pay attention to them that much. I only really see them when they get hurt. I had to guess, gosh, rotating shifts 20, 25, 30? 20 to 30? You can tell this individual does not keep track of that kind of stuff.
I only asked for potential, if it needed, quarantine of patients.
Thought about that.
Never do know when it could come up.
Especially these sailors, huh? And he kind of elbows you a bit.
I wouldn't know. I've only been on the seas a month in total.
Oh.
This will be my first trip in a while.
Well, good thing you're practiced with your medical field, or else no one else would have really hired you.
That's how I obtained travel in the first place.
Very well. Where'd you travel from?
Oh, small island, far, about a month's travel from here. From here, called the Archipelago of Ivory.
Sounds familiar. It's
quite far out there. We would only ever have shipments
but
every month.
He says a smaller one, so it's one of the ones that moves around.
Yes, it's also quite on the edge. Our nearest islands we only see them maybe once a month to get shipments and trade. Very small.
Yeah. Well, is anything else you need? Come find me. You know where I'll be. Beyond that,
Of course.
really
Have
like.
you-
They're not too strict here. It's pretty nice actually. Gonna have free roam until someone gets hurt. If someone gets
Of
hurt,
course,
haul ass down there. But aside from that,
obviously.
stay out of the way. And
Have you had a chance to speak with, I believe her name was Miss Hannah?
the bookworm. No.
Yes.
She doesn't really get along with the rest of us. She was sent from Riz to be a learned knowledge source, and all she'd done is cost us an extra week of travel and another gentleman's arm almost.
as a arcane practitioner, I was hoping to pick her brain.
Well, no, she has arcane talents. She's just educated to the skies, apparently.
Well, at the very least, she has knowledge I do not.
Very well, then. Well, I'll be off.
And yes, if you need any help with anything, or if you want to trade notes, let me know.
Alrighty, then. And he heads back down in what you can assume the direction of his office he was in.
Yes. I guess if I have nothing else to do, I'll probably just go back above deck and just kind of like stand to the side and make sure I'm not in anyone's way, but also not close enough to the edge of the ship to where I could potentially get knocked off by someone by accident.
Okay.
Just to kind of get a feel for the crew and just, kind of wait for an opportunity for Hannah to be done talking with the captain and first mate.
Okay. The three of you, as you have been getting the grates up and moved, you wait around for just a few moments, probably about half hour, 45 minutes, before you see the doctor emerge from that door in front of the steps.
Kind of just give him a tiny little wave.
The tiniest of waves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. I'm sure I would be able to perceive this and I would wave back.
You watch as he just waves back and bends ahead upstairs to the upper part of the rear deck. About this time, Doctor, you do actually kind of pass ways with Elgar. Excuse me. And he heads down.
Of course. And I will step to the side and let him pass.
He steps down, makes his way over to Drakix, Eva, and Red. Well, I've just got word that they'll be here shortly with the rest of the supplies for our journey. Everything here is ready. Once they get here, just help them unload. And he kind of points over to you can see the crane system, currently not in use, but you can see now there is a couple individuals coming off the ship that came shortly afterwards of the first mate, and they're heading down the gangplank and getting to the crane and getting it unhinged, unhooked, and getting some pulleys and rope ran.
Okay. Drax just looks over and goes like, "Okay, we'll take care of it."
All right. And he himself will leave, and you imagine, Drac, as you would know, he's probably going to go assist with the onboarding of the cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, you head upstairs to the upper rear portion, and you can see there is the captain standing there with the other female individual. The two of them are just kind of in silence as the captain is over the map. You see he's kind of just messing, to you, just fiddling and messing with various tools of his trade. Every once in a while, he grabs this piece of fine chalk and makes a line. You can wait here, or
I will wait, and I feel like I have got enough rapport to interrupt his thinking.
there's a moment before you can see he kind of looks over. Yeah, can I help you?
Oh, I have made my acquaintance with your physician on board, Mr. Stennard.
Oh, yeah. Plant guy. You can see there's a bit like his eye widens a bit as he like sarcastically says it.
Yes, I believe you weren't told, but I am a practicing physician. I am trained in medical.
2 doctors on one ship. Now that's interesting. I mean,
I thought so myself.
not going to say no, but
Of course.
personally would rather like another deckhand.
Well, I'm also trained in arcane, so if any engine problems happen, I am also able to help.
Well, that's good. You can heal?
Yes.
He kind of looks you over a little bit. Usually, you look a little more holy.
There are many forms of healing within magic, and I prefer more physical healing as well as arcane healing.
Let's see. Well, learn something new every day.
Yes. I was also, I heard that Miss Hannah here was uh, a book smart individual. I was hoping to pick her brain about a few things, if you wouldn't mind.
He kind of looks over to Hannah, and she just kind of looks to you, looks to the captain, looks to you, looks to the captain, and just she's just like looking back and forth. Well, if it means getting her away from my navigation table, you are more than welcome to have a conversation with her.
I appreciate it.
And you see he just kind of gives you a dismissive wave of his hand and then looks to Hannah. Go on. Captain, and you see she speaks up for a time. May I remind you, my purpose here, did I say anything else besides go on? And she can see she tries to have the gumption required, but she does deflate. And she just turns away from the table and head towards her the ship.
Okay. I probably would take this conversation like out of earshot of most people.
Okay. I would say definitely if you head to the full rear of the ship, you'll be able to acquire that. There's maybe like a hand here or there that comes by, but no one who seems to be really paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, we're still setting up for, so,
Yeah.
I was sorry for the rudeness, but my name's the doctor.
That's interesting. She just kind of points to your mask. Interesting device you wear.
Yes, it's a mask for sanitation purposes.
Interesting. Are you sick?
No, but it's to prevent sickness from others affecting me.
Oh, I see. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, I would simply overheard that you are relatively learned. I was also curious if you were arcane inclined.
Oh, no, I don't have such talents for that. I just I spent a good portion of my life studying the cloud ocean. Its effects, its how it came to be, the rumors about that. It's very interesting to me. I just had the opportunity to come on a ship and thought it would be different.
And how do you like it so far?
Well, and she kind of turns her back to the rest of the ship and just looks out over the ocean itself. Don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. I could do without the methods to get here.
I can understand that. I wanted to pick your brain mostly about the ocean of itself, if you would say. I'm more curious about what's in it and what can come from it.
Well, there's all manner of creatures that have made their home within it. Many have proven and studied that there are various tears or weaknesses to the elemental plane of water, and it just flows out of that in some way. Others surmise it's from the elemental plane of air. No one's ever seen them, but it's one of the more accepted logical explanations of it. How else could creatures survive in such an environment?
Wow, I've been lucky enough to have dissected such a creature, and there was a organ I didn't quite recognize. Seemed very unique.
Really?
I will at this point probably pull out my journal of the and flip to the page that had the sky shark information on it from when I
Okay.
dissected it.
You
And
can
I would
see
point
she
out to
looks
her
over it. I,
Mhm.
I don't,
Oh,
What-
I apologize. This is
what language
my
is
native
this?
tongue. My native tongue of my island, referred to as Nosh.
Huh. Where are you from?
The archipelago of Ivory.
I have heard of it.
Really?
Yes.
Not many people do.
No, it's, well, an island like that, deserted as it is.
Well,
Surprised someone's from there.
It used to be a bit more lively, but in recent months, most folk have moved away.
I read something happened. There was, don't remember what exactly.
What?
What was that?
It's also partially the reason I'm asking. Have you ever heard of a pathogen or just disease transmission in to islands from the ocean?
No, I mean, there's all manners of creatures that can, infect us with their venom, but nothing that, I mean, some are deadly, of course, but nothing that was spread to another individual.
Hmm. And Doctor would just kind of like take a moment, lean against the bow, and just like ponder this information. Well, if anything comes to mind, no matter how minuscule, please let me know. I'm very curious to know.
Sure. She kind of looks back over to the captain. I need to get back to the table.
If you wouldn't mind some advice, freely given, of course. With men like him, patience is more than needed.
Not everything's taught in a book.
Of course.
And she
Well, I
just
learned in experience.
nods and leaves you.
I'll just kind of sitting back there, just kind of like, just think of this information.
And as you are looking out, you do see what looks to be a couple of larger carts begin to make their way across the wooden platforms and towards the ship.
Mhm.
Drakix, Eva, and Red, you notice that the crane has been fully put together. All the ropes are hanging from it, pulleys are ready. As the carts come up, they are latched onto this rope system, raised out of the carts, over the ship, and lowered in.
Okay. At this point, Drac would actually know what to do.
Yep.
So he's going to give the two of them, and like he's going to take care of most of it and just telling them like how to help him out. Probably using like mage hand, if anything else.
Eee.
Well, for this, I'm going to ask that each of you roll a strength check.
Oh God.
You do realize 3 of the 4 of us are not suited for this type of thing.
Oh, I know.
That's entirely why he's doing it.
That's
Uh-huh.
entirely why
So
he's
glad-
doing it. Who let this man
so
be in
glad we're
charge?
not-
Wow, what the fuck is with my rolls tonight?
What'd you get?
Hey.
I'm not rolling another d4.
Okay.
I'm rolling a d4 though, just because I want to.
Okay.
That's an 11. Apparently, I can't do shit tonight.
Okay.
That's 17.
Okay.
and
That is a-
watch.
18.
I can't
Okay.
do. They are just outshining me. I'm just like,
So Drakix, as you are like, all right, time to show them how it's done. The first crate comes over. The very first crate comes over. It gets centered over the cargo hold and starts going down. And you reach out to kind of help push it in position as there's a crew below you also ready to receive it on the level down. You push forward and you're like, yep, this isn't just as I remember. And then you lean a bit too far, and then you go to you snap back to catch yourself, and as you do that, you feel this pop right at the base of your spine. And you're like, ouch, and you can't move. You are just stood there frozen for a moment. But only a few moments. You don't think anybody notices as you quickly stretch it out, and you're like, yep, I'm gonna show you guys how it's done. And you just begin to verbally command the two ladies who do exceptionally well. Like they have their, I wouldn't say a spear, but like a spear length, like sturdy rod. And the two of you on each side, and you manage to push the crates into a better position as they come down. You keep them from getting too twisted or spinning as they descend. And after about 45 minutes to an hour of loading up, you are a little more tired. Eva, you even more so tired.
Mm-hmm.
But the job is done. By now, Drakix, you've been able to kind of stretch out a bit. You pop your back on your own terms, and you're able to help them get the grates back in place. As you can see now, over this time, I would say probably about 30 to 35 more, just, you would guess, helping hands begin to just come on board. And they've got all manner of sacks and bags.
The three of them have already been to their room, right? Or are they just carrying their
You
packs around?
have not gone down yet that I know of.
Okay, cool.
yeah, Drax's been carrying his pack the entire time.
Yeah, if you just kind of set your stuff aside.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
For that, we're gonna go to break.
Oh.
I was waiting for that in all honesty.
What?
Yep.
Him to say let's go on break.
Yep.
Ah.
The time got away from it. I didn't realize it's already 7:54.
Yep.
So we're gonna go take a break. It'll be about 10-15 minute probably. Actually 15 minutes. I'm hungry. I need a snack. So we're gonna take a 15-minute break. We'll be back here, hang out, go get yourselves a snack. If you're watching us, go get water, soda, whatever you want. It's D&D night. Go get snacks. Say this every week.
Snacks.
Yeah, it's D&D night. Get snacks. We'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you so much for hanging out during our break. Hopefully you did what I know at least I did. I can't talk for my entire table, but I went and got snacks, and I had cereal because I'm an adult. I won't make the table divulge their snacking choices tonight like I normally do. I'll just say I hope the table went and got snacks as well. You guys deserve them.
Yep.
I got a whole bunch of water too, so there you go.
Yeah, I did fill my water up, so it's going to be a long last hour. It's okay, though.
All right.
We're going to have fun.
Yes, we are.
We always do.
Last we
About to
left
get real
off,
interesting.
Drakix almost became the first patient of the ship before they even left port.
Impressive new record.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, really.
Well, that's world's first, world's first injury. They haven't left the dock yet.
That would be very Drakix.
Earlier in the episode, we watched as Miss Eva had a very unfortunate dream. As she was also given some peace of mind from the captain. The rest of you were given your pieces of paper sent on your way. You've all come together aboard the Chaser of Constellations, a ship captained by a tall, imposing male figure, Leonard Chase. After meeting the first mate Elgar, each of you were given your tasks at hand, either to go meet other individuals or be ready for more cargo. I will say that as the cargo was loaded, you would notice, especially you, Trackix, because I already know how your brain thinks, it is very secure. There's no splits or windows in the wood. It's just these crates that are as tall as any of you. I'd say probably anywhere from probably 7 feet tall to probably about 4 to 5 feet wide on any one side. Heavy too. Even as the ladies did their great rolls with their strength checks, you notice that even though it was suspended from rope and you weren't holding the weight, it was still kind of rough to move as it was suspended from there. But everything was put into its proper location as more and more members and deckhands seemed to be joining the crew. And then all of you kind of realized we didn't go pick out our own bunks yet.
Yeah.
But you have everything, the grates in the ground put back together, the cargo is unloaded, and you can see some of the couple of deckhands that went to go help are now beginning to get that crane system back over where it needs to be, rested in neutral position. They're taking off the ropes, they're getting pulleys stacked away neatly. You get the sense that if it's not in use, they don't keep it just ready to go at all times. What would you all like to do?
Red is absolutely going to go check out the bunks.
Okay. You quickly head down to that lower level, and it is a good portion of this bit is just double bunk beds.
Does it look like there are any places to lock and keep personal possessions?
There is at the base of each of them, very much in like a squad or a squad bay. There are 2 footlockers at the base.
How impenetrable do these footlockers look?
Not at all impenetrable. They are made of wood. They are simple. They have that kind of closed over latch. No locks though.
Cool. Excellent. Hold on, let me look and see if she has a lock. Nope, not really. Nope, she sure doesn't. Cool. She's gonna continue carrying her pack with her. Nobody came down with her, right?
Nobody. I don't know. That's for the party, but I will just say that whoever wants to go down there is welcome to. I will just describe the scene that's down there. I would say probably about a good 80% of these beds seem to be essentially claimed, as there is either somebody currently there and just getting their things unpacked, getting their little homely spaces made. See, some people have looks like very small, like hand cloth size tapestries or something like that, or they have these various almost like not like a wind chime, but just something that has rope that dangles from it with various like creatures' teeth or scales woven into it that they just kind of hang on the other bed.
Are there any bunks like where the top and bottom are both empty?
Yeah, so you can find that.
Cool. She's gonna get in one of them and wait for Trakix or Eva.
Okay.
Drac would probably walk down with Eva just to make show her where everything is, because he figures Galley, at least some parts of it are the same, regardless of how much of a difference it is between this and his old ship.
Right.
So eventually he's going to get down there, and he's probably gonna let Eva decide if she wants to bunk near Red or not.
I guess the question I would have for Red is how far back in all of these beds did you go?
Man, I'm trying to think whether she would be at the very front or the very back. Probably at the very front.
Okay. He was gonna kind of just look around and inspect things. Not really interested in picking out a bunk, though.
And either one of you want to claim the other bunk here? I'd rather bunk with one of you than somebody I don't know.
Understandable.
If you want to take the bunk, go ahead.
Yeah, you would.
I get tops.
Are you sure about that, dear?
I'm fairly positive, yes.
Just remember, when you have to get down, there's a whole bunch of men around.
Oh, I'm very aware. Do you? Okay, no. I'll be perfectly fine.
As you wish.
All right. So I would say, with enough of your presence combined, you could probably get 4 bunks that are together. You do kind of tell one guy to shove off, but it doesn't really fight you once you realize there's 4 of you.
If needed, Red could be intimidating.
I say between Drakix and Red, you're both just like, move on, buddy. But you get your 4 bunks together, and then after about situating yourselves for a few minutes, there is a kind of like a louder voice comes over the entire under the ship. Familiar. It's the first mate. Right. Everyone, come on. Gather round. Bring it in. And Elgar kind of stands there. You can see he kind of moves a foot locker kind of into the middle of the bay, and he stands up on it. Right. Well, as many of you have already met me and know me, just to make sure, in case there are some new hands here, First Mate Elgar will be sailing to Riz here shortly. Those of you that are on the current afternoon shift, go ahead and head on up. Everybody else, you know your shift rotations, or you've been given your orders. Quick trip, 1 month there. Those of you that wish to return or wherever you'll be going, there are 2 ships here. They'll be flanking with us from Wingata. You're welcome to get back on board those. Please remember, at Riz, you will not be granted entrance. Now that is a maniacal laugh.
It is.
I was about to say, what?
There's just one
Trust
guy.
me, you don't want to know.
There's just one guy in the back just losing it. Right, calm down. Everyone knows the rumors. Don't go spreading more. The truth of the matter is, everyone here knows how Riz is. Once we get there, you're either coming back to this island on those 2 ships, or you can find another ship to go off on, but you're not going to stay there. Everybody good? It's kind of just like a limbo, like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Let's get this done. And he hops off of the little footlocker there, and he doesn't even put it back. Somebody else puts it back for him, and he heads back upstairs. About
Red,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Red knows that she's got to go back upstairs, but she's going to kind of pull Eva to the side a little bit and try and have a quiet conversation where other people can't overhear.
Okay. You wait a few minutes, and as some people stay down here, some people do leave to go to whatever duties they have. There is a noticeable shift in the entire vessel as it detaches from the port, and you feel it. And there's almost this. Let's see here. Who would this be? It would be Eva and Doctor. Both of you, due to your arcane talents and the affinity you have to those at this moment, you feel this hum or buzz as the enchantments, you actually hear them. And Red, you kind of notice in them, and Trackix, you're just so used to it, you tune it out.
Mm-hmm.
But right after just a moment, you see them going at it, and then you hear it, and you hear this very low, very just constant, just, I don't know how to really put it, honestly, just constant sound. Just,
Somewhat like the trains.
yeah, something like the trains, honestly.
Got it.
I imagine Doctor's probably heard this before, have been on.
Yeah, you're used to this.
Before. Yeah.
Okay, so once everybody's... Go ahead.
You took the front corner of the room, you said, Red?
Yeah.
Eva immediately backs up to find a corner and sits in that corner. Her hands are over her ears, trying to shut out that sound.
Oh, okay. Red will make her way over to Eva, and if there is any room where she is, she's gonna sit next to her. And kind of put a hand on her shoulder.
She is shaking.
Well, you're blocking out sound, so I don't think talking right now will help anything, but she's just kind of sit there, and maybe tap once to see if she can get Eva's attention. Like she's got something to say.
Kind of pulls her head up and looks at you.
Look, we've got opposite shifts, and I have something that I would like to ask you to do for me. Something that might be a bit distracting, maybe, and help with your nerves, because I realize what must be going through your mind right now.
Gives a nod.
And I'm trusting you with this. This has got to remain under wraps, literally and figuratively. I have a thing in my pack that I need to take with me whenever I'm, going on extended trips anywhere. And I can't put it in one of those lockers because, I'm half surprised Drac hasn't found it yet. Perhaps that's only really because he's never been to my place, but that's beside the point. I have a thing in here that must be protected. Can I leave the pack with you while I'm topside? And then of course, I'll stay down here with it when I'm not topside. And try maybe to get some sleep. I know that might be a bit difficult, or very difficult actually in the circumstances, but
Just kind of trying to push past it and think in my head for a minute. I will recast Disguise Self, and what changes is what she is wearing. So instead of her very fancy dress that she normally wears around, she's just in a very plain, almost like a cream colored leather tunic and some leggings that will go all the way down to her shoes, which out of her sandals, she's wearing some more almost like sneakers, I guess, but not quite.
Okay, got you. I understand.
But just some more padded
Yeah.
footwear. And she will take the pack from Red and just try and put it in any of the pockets of the pants that she now has. Unless it's like a full-size pack that you're giving her.
it is.
Cool. Got a solution for that too.
Yep.
There's a sash that she will wear that she will clip that bag to.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Just a probably the same color actually as that seal that she got from the captain. And just be a blue seal sash that she wears, and she'll clip it to that.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. I really appreciate you looking after this for me. I
Give another nod.
probably shouldn't take it topside. Is there anything I can get for you? Maybe a bit of rum or something to help maybe even you out a little bit?
Just shake her head. And under her breath, you'll hear her say to you, "You don't want a drunk vampire around."
Aw, that'll be the most fun, though.
You're not hearing this, Drac.
I know.
All right, darling, if you need anything at all, I understand at least a bit of it, and you know where I am.
Give another nod to you.
All right, I've got to go to my post, but again, thank you very much. This, just be careful with the packet. It's a bit fragile.
Will do.
Thank you. And she'll kind of walk away, sneaking glances back in Eva's direction as she heads topside.
Okay. You head up, and you're able to climb the crow's nest. And as you get up, you get the greatest view you've ever seen in your life. You are over the cloud ocean, high above the ship itself, in the crow's nest. You can see the island before you in its entirety. If you look hard enough, you can almost see the other side of it. The cloud ocean on the other side of it. The mountains, the Rainbow Quarry, the fields, the Surwich, the incredible jagged structures over in the Weave Tech regions. The ship turns and sails away.
Nice.
Dr. Drac, what are you two doing?
He is probably
Stretching,
keeping an eye
got
on
it.
everything else. And also stretching, too.
No, I'm kidding. You'd go up to the deck, topside?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say, given your background and proficiency with it, you are able to assist here and there. You can definitely see it. It's a bit of a lighter crew. Nothing crazy. Make a perception check for me. Doctor, you do go outside?
Unless my presence is needed downstairs, I will. I will keep my stuff on me. I'm not going to put it in the footlocker.
Okay.
That is a 13.
All right. I'll hang on to that. Red, Doctor, same thing. Perception check, please.
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay.
Doctor.
No, she's slapping a help dice on this one just to get it over that hump. Oh, that works. That'd be a 22.
Nice.
Yes.
So, Doctor, you don't notice this. You're enraptured with the view of being on this large of a ship and overlooking the cloud ocean, and you see the island ever so faintly. Just gets a little further away. It's slow to start, but you do notice after a few minutes the pace picks up.
Wasn't even there 2 weeks.
You weren't. Say, Jackers, what'd you get?
I got a 13.
Okay, you pick up on a couple of figures that are on that upper deck area, but they don't really catch your eye.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a little busy making sure you blend in well, because you know that for your other 3 companions to be less under fire, you, as a person who essentially represented them, needs to make sure you know what you're doing. And you have that. You know you have the talent. You just need to build a rapport with this crew. Red, what you notice with your high of a roll and your high advantage, there are 2 individuals that are standing up at the navigation table with the captain. And the captain isn't even at the wheel. The first mate is. The 2 individuals you see have this unique, almost olive tanned complexion to them. They both have the exact same color of this vibrant purple hair. They're wearing the colors you've come to know as Riz, the black with a vibrant green. And with that high of a roll, you're looking at them and there's something you can't place. Something about the way they carry themselves or their presence. Perhaps it's just a detail you're overlooking, but something about them just sets you at incredible unease. And they're just standing there. And they're not doing anything nefarious, or either not holding the captain at knife point or anything, but just something about them is really off-putting to you. Even as they're doing the most common of things, just standing and conversing, even smiling.
Does this have the personal feel of unease, or is it something like anybody would feel uneasy if they noticed these people this much?
Everyone around them seems to be fine.
Great, cool. Lovely. She's not drawing attention to herself.
Okay. As you're looking up here as well, you do see the other 2 slightly smaller, but still large in their own right, ships of your known home begin to come up and flank this ship, like escorting it.
Oh, she's going to keep an extra close eye on these 2 individuals while still looking everywhere around to make sure that nothing breaches the clouds.
Okay, and we'll just keep that perception check. Seems fine.
Okay. Okay.
Eva, are you going to try to rest before you have to have your 12-hour stint? Or are you just going to tough it?
If she can safely, meaning still, making sure that no one can sneak up on her, so to speak.
Right.
Then
And there's
she
a
will
couple
try.
individuals down here. Some of them you actually do notice they begin to they have these one individual about 2, 3, 4 bunks down. You see he pulls out this thick sheet and he just stuffs it under the mattress. And then you see him do the same thing the other side. And then he crawls inside. It's a smart way to block out light. But if you want to get a long rest before midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning comes around, you're welcome to.
We'll try.
Okay. Roll d20.
Yep. That's a 5.
5. Okay. There's something oddly calming being able to just hold on to whatever satchel Red gave you. Almost like a kid holding a teddy bear. You can't explain it, but it's comforting. And as sleep does take you, you find yourself moving. Not sure if you're floating or you're flying. But as the darkness parts way and light begins to come into your view, it's not white light. It's red, orange, blue, but not intense, like a flame. Soft, like a very small candle glow. But all these colors encompass it. As you look around and you can feel that warmth surrounding you, and your body is just hovering across the cloud ocean. You try to figure out where you are, what's going on. Make a perception check for me.
11.
11? Okay. You look around and you can't place where you are exactly. You're over land. You know that much. You're not sure what land. You can't make out details. You just see off in the distance fields and then mountain range. But it is endless. You know an island, even the largest floating island, wouldn't be this large. And as you try to have a scope of where you are, a shadow above you overtakes your entire vision. As you look down to the ground, you can see its shadow cast down. And it's this incredibly massive avian-like creature. You look up and you can see it. You've read about such creatures. Real quick, maybe a history check. And I'll keep going and then let me know what you get. You've read about certain
Nature
creatures
check?
like this. Nature or history?
Okay. Sorry, my bad. I didn't hear.
No, you're good.
Oh, they're the same, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
That's a 2.
2. You read about such creatures. The rock, specifically. Large, long extinct creatures. But you've seen the pictures of them in books. You've read about them in your journeys. But something seems different as you look up. All of its feathers are this incredibly vibrant red color. And then you look and you can see the tips of the wings are almost as if smoldering or on fire. And as the creature begins to crest upwards, you see its beak take notice of you. And it nose dives towards you. What do?
Probably just freeze.
Okay. You instinctually freeze, and as you clutch down, you feel something hard in your grasp, and you look and you see you have that satchel given to you by Red, and whatever it holds within it is you're feeling it like against you. The creature begins to further just descend and intently make its way towards you faster and faster as it comes towards you.
But there's something in the satchel that is fighting me.
You can just, as you clench down, you can feel there's something like hard in the satchel. Like whatever it's containing, it's not being crushed by your grip, in your fear grip as you
I
clench
see.
down.
I see.
What do you do?
Shitty history check. Do I know anything about this creature? Like, have I read like any stories, any legends or myths or rumors?
About a creature like this, you know they were large creatures that were known to exist in this realm before the ascension of the islands. But since then, been essentially, for all pun intended, they've been left in the dust.
So it's thought to be like ancient in some way.
Yeah, it is diving straight towards you.
Now I'm just curious.
It is moving faster and faster, getting closer and closer. What do you do?
Unless it tries to take the satchel from me, I'm just gonna let it.
Okay. It barrels towards you, and as it does, you see its eyes flare this golden red color. And what should be this kind of a different oriented shaped avian eye, you watch for a minute as it rounds and becomes almost human. And the entire creature erupts in flame, and it strikes you square in the chest. But you feel no heat. Not in pain, anyways, but in comfort and safety. Like waking up on a cold day inside a very warm bed, you feel surrounded in this blanket of flame as you watch all of it begin to explode around you in slow motion, almost like a sphere of fire just erupting around you. You look and you watch as these tendrils of flame begin to coalesce and compress into whatever object is within the satchel. The satchel's not burned. You're not burned. But you watch as these tendrils of flame sink into the bag. And you find yourself free floating. But you feel safe, warm, comfortable. In that moment of comfort, sleep takes you fully and wholeheartedly.
Yay!
Oh, you get to sleep.
The rest of you, Trackix, you spend your first shift just doing your best to make sure your presence is known and doing your best to essentially sell the crew. Not yourself, but talk about Red and her abilities to be well handled with her arcane strength. You talk about Eva and her ability to come up with good trick situations in a tight moment. you speak on the doctor and his medical prowess. You don't say much about yourself, not wanting to give too much away in case someone else knows who you may be. But you spend your
Yeah.
first shift. Doctor, is there anything you want to accomplish?
I think if anyone comes up to him, he'll just mention he's just on standby in case anything happens medically. Standard has the office downstairs covered, so it feels like he should be up here ready in case something does happen.
Right. I will say Standard does get with you eventually, and he gives you just this very simple, just like a very small, like white sash armband.
Okay.
And he just, as he hands it to you, and he'll tie it around your bicep. I almost forgot about this. Go ahead and hang on to this. I wouldn't say it's like a hall pass, but it does give you. No one will question why you're just lollygagging.
Fair enough.
Well, welcome back to the Cloud Ocean, Doctor.
Dr. Standard.
Oh, please. I'm not well trained. I just really like plants.
Applied medically, anyone could be a doctor if they train hard enough for it.
You can see him kind of walk off, like really pondering, like,
I can already tell I'm having some fun conversations this trip.
Not gonna lie, I'm already enjoying this.
Y'all are stuck on a ship with Red. You're about to have some really intense conversations.
Darkness falls. As your shifts come to a close, Drakix, Doctor, you're welcome to bunk down when you see fit. Red, at about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, one of the individual torchlights, you see someone carrying one, just comes over to the mast and just beats the ladder with it. You want to go get your shift change? Probably a good time.
All right. I'm coming. Don't take your pants off or anything. She'll come down the.
I mean, I can.
Careful. Y'all stuck with me on this ship for a great deal of time. Careful.
Right. And he just walks off.
She's gonna go get Eva from downstairs.
She is sound asleep.
She will gently reach over and shake her shoulder, trying to rouse her in the least surprising way possible. Eva, darling.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you managed to get some sleep anyways. I hope it was decent. It's time for shift change.
Nods. Gets up. A little sore, probably. Because she stayed in the corner. And will hand Red her satchel back.
You can see kind of like a small portion of relief wash over her as she gets the satchel and kind of squeezes gently and feels the object inside. Still there. Thank you for watching over this for me. Do you need me to watch over something for you while you're up, or? I mean, I don't mind.
Got it.
Okay.
You can see she clips her own bag to her sash and just walks up.
Thank you. Just come get me whenever it's my shift, okay?
Yep. Got it.
Have a good night.
And I will make my way up to the mess.
Okay. Go make me a perception check for me.
Finally, 17.
Nice.
Nice.
It is a boring, uneventful time until dawn. At dawn, you notice a little more of the ship becomes to come to life. You see the captain come up about an hour before dawn, and he immediately relieves the individual that was at the helm. And you see he looks over the map a bit, comes to the helm, makes some adjustments, and then for the next few hours, he seems pretty stoic and unmoving, just being in charge of the ship, staying at the helm. Other individuals come around. Some of them check the sails, check the ropes and the rigging, things like that. It's, I would say, uneventful, but at least there's things going on. For the rest of you, Drakix, Dr. Red, you have a long rest, unless there's anything you want to accomplish.
The only thing I would take note of is the doctor would probably ask Standard if he can keep his materials, his bag specifically, in the medical infirmary.
Yeah, he wouldn't see a problem with that.
Red's gonna be wrapped around her satchel.
Okay.
Nah, I got nothing I would end up doing.
Okay. Well then, Red,
Yep.
as sleep begins to take you, you find yourself having a very familiar dream. You are far above an almost endless expanse of land. An island. It's impossible. Not this large. You're not sure if you're below the clouds or so far up, there's more land somewhere. But you are not you. You don't have arms or legs. Your body is different. It is sleek. It is large. Light. Your arms, now wings, spanning a great distance. Their vibrant red coloration with just a bit of the tips smoldering in flame. As your eyes take in the scene around you. Your legs and feet turned into talons, tucked in close to your body. And something catches your eye. Something just below you. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception. Oh, good. That's a 7.
7. You look down and your first thought is just, ooh, snack time. A morsel of food.
Oh,
Yes.
And you scope up just a bit before you let gravity take you, and you nosedive straight down towards this thing that's floating in the air below you. You dive hard and you move fast. But as you get closer, you begin to see its shape. Humanoid. Small in comparison to your form. But something catches your scent. The smell of cinnamon. Your smell. But how? And as you look and focus, you can feel your consciousness ripped in half almost, divided, split. With this creature. Focus. No, not the creature. Something it's holding. Something it has. I must have it. It belongs to me. It's mine. It is me. And your whole body just disintegrates into flame before darkness takes you. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Of course.
I had to mute myself when Eva was having the dream because I was like squeeing in the background.
Thank you for not eating me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, I hope all of you out there watching have enjoyed this very much. I know I had a ton of fun telling these stories today. I can't decide who I had the most fun. I had the most fun with Eva. That was really fun. I'm really grateful for that.
Did.
For that nat one, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so sorry to put your character through that, but I'm so happy because when that lore comes out, you're gonna punch me in the mouth.
You know what? It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna do something very fun tonight.
Ooh.
We are going to obviously end it. And for all of you out there, thank you so very much for being here and enjoying it. If you did enjoy this, make sure you catch us next Wednesday and every Wednesday by dropping that follow. If you want to see more content similar to this, feel free to check us out when we go live on Sundays. We have the fantastic Mr. Ford hosting a bit of a intermission to the current campaign as one of our players is getting themselves put back together, and we can't wait for them to be fully recovered. Until then, you get to see me and Mr. David, who plays Drakix over there, get to be both players at a single table, and it's a ton of fun.
That it is.
I think it is.
That it is.
But we're going to go show some love to a very good friend of mine. If you haven't heard of him, I don't really know if you have here. I know Tasha has. We're going to go raid Sax.
Ooh.
So I'm going to give a bit of history, and Doctor does too, it's right. A bit of history of this person. He is a very amazing person. Just a good guy, incredible on the saxophone, and various other instruments. He plays a lot of Destiny 2, which I do enjoy. I don't stream it here, obviously, because we are for tabletop gaming. But you could catch me there on the stream a couple of times, just listening and or playing alongside him. But the most important thing I'll let you know is that with the release of Destiny 2's most recent and upcoming expansion, Lightfall, he will be doing a 7-day charity giveaway. The charity he is choosing, I unfortunately cannot pronounce, but it's an incredible cause, and I really encourage you all to check it out. So we're going to go raid him, show him some love. So if you're here with us still, just spam the emotes and tell him you love him, and if you really like his content, drop him a follow. But as long as I figure out how to use this Twitch thing right, we're going to go raid him, but we'll see if I know what I'm doing.
This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
It is, yeah.
Ooh, man, rating in 7 seconds. Let's go. Oh, let's go. I'm excited for this. Raid now.
And we're over.
Awesome.
We are indeed.
That's great. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Oh, so that's actually the new content too. Oh, nice.
Oh. Okay, he saved himself.
Oh, whew.
I would have laughed if he died to one of these trains.
Oh, so good.
Falls trying to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.